Hi, my name is Kathy Sabeda. I'm a mortgage planner and a proud veteran, and I'm here with two wonderful realtor brokers. I have Roxanne and I have Debbie. And what are we here to speak about today? Well, we're going to talk about brick and mortar. Should you actually have an actual office for people to go to, or because we're in this environment that we're in, we continue to stay online? I wanted to get Debbie, I'd like to get your thoughts on that first.
Okay, this is something that I have actually been contemplating. I've been a real estate broker for about 15 years ago and a realtor for almost 25. Just opened up a brick and mortar about 4 years ago, and in light of the COVID-19, I've had to really rethink what we're doing. And part of that is the fact that nobody's coming into the office space anymore, and it used to be 80 to 90% of buyers went online just within the last, 2 to 3 years. Now it's 100% of buyers. So for me, it's a decision of how can I best serve my client. So it's still up for discussion because I do have a couple of ideas that I'm considering. One is actually bringing in other brokers and we co-op and use the space together. Because the one thing I do like about brick and mortar is I like to meet my clients face to face when we're pre-qualifying them, when we're going over contracts and that sort of thing. And we have a beautifully staged office that is perfect for outreaches and philanthropic programs and stuff that we actually do on Main Street in Vista, and I would really miss that. So it's kind of I'm not sure what to do, to be honest with you, and I'm really weighing my options, but I want my money to be best spent to service my clients and to make sure that I can still maximize their equity by using and utilizing whatever resources I have to best serve my client. And at the end of the day, that's how I'm going to actually determine whether I keep the brick and mortar or whether those funds can be best utilized in a new platform that are better serve my clients. And that's still to be determined.
And Roxanne, what are you going to be doing?
Well, I actually started in the year 2000. I was with Coldwell Banker when I first started, and then I went on my own when in 2006, because it really happened. The mortgage meltdown happened in 2006. That's when they all started closing down offices and combining everything and consolidating. And I actually went on my own because they closed one of the offices that we were in, and I started my brokerage in 2006, opening my doors into an actual brick and mortar office. And I would say that I have not looked back. And last year I joined a bigger brokerage, Compass, and one of they were really coming after me. They wanted me as one of their teams, and I said the most important thing for me was the ability to keep my office and keep my presence in the neighborhood where I am. And that still is one of the most important things to me. And I think it is absolutely imperative for my presence in the neighborhood and to have that office in the neighborhood. So I am sure I am not giving up the brick and mortar.
That's tough. And then for us too, our office is a family legacy. My daughter's a real estate broker. My son is a finished carpenter. We do a lot of work on our clients' properties. We have a water fire restoration company on Main Street. I also have my nonprofit that I've had for over 20 years on Main Street, right next to my real estate firm. So it's a difficult decision. The decision isn't whether I want it, whether I see value in it. It's just economically, is it going to best serve the resources for the real estate community that I serve in my hometown? And I'm hoping that I can do both. Right? Still serve them effectively and efficiently. And since we're a mom and pop, we offer specialized services you don't get with big corporate companies. We do free professional home staging and started offering free staging in 2006 when there was a crash and people couldn't afford it. We were ahead of our time in actually presenting and showcasing our properties online. So we understand the online marketplace and how important it is to showcase your properties online, still with a brick and mortar. But how do we navigate through that now? That's the question.
And so if anyone was asking me, my opinion would be, are you asking?
Yes, well, we do want to know. And as a lender, you're very actively involved with working with real estate brokers like, Roxanne and I. So it's important for us to know.
Yeah. So it's interesting because I only see maybe 20% of my clients. Right?
Yeah.
So we get it referred. I'm in the state of California, so my clients could be from Los Angeles to the Bay Area to here, here in San Diego. And even here in San Diego, people don't want to come and see you. It's a different world that we're living in.
It is.
So I understand your perspective in regards to, hey, here we are in a pandemic. That's why we're practicing social distancing here, because usually we're on the sofa.
This is how we go.
Yeah, usually we're on the sofa kicking it, right? But it all boils down to we're in different times, and different areas need different resources, right? So where I was segueing anyway into this world of being on social media, doing videos all the time, and we fight it, but guess what? We have no choice now. I would say the difference is that we use it more for work now than for social being. But if more people are online looking at stuff, if more people don't want to see us, if more people don't want to pick up the phone and they want to text us, we're hoping, because with bad things with this pandemic, it brings about a different community, maybe a different sense of, wow, I really need to be around people.
Yeah.
And hence, maybe I do need to keep a real estate office where I can walk in and see a person and build that community sense. The one thing that the two of you have in common is that you guys are in a local area where they know you. You try to support the artists around you. So those are all the things that if you didn't have a brick and mortar, then where do people have to go to? Because right now, at the end of the day, I'm cooking, which I always cooked anyway, but more people are doing, delivery, right? So you have to segue into those different types of, okay, you can cook, but I'm tired of cooking, so I'm going to go get something to eat, right? So now, do I find myself doing that a little bit more? And no, I still don't want to, I'll do it because we're here, we're doing social distancing, so I'll order food so we can have it. But again, that's just a matter of, again, with a person wanting to come into your office and come and talk to you, and or you building that into what it's mandatory that you come and see me, right? Because I have some loan officers that say, no, if you don't come see me, then how can I really do business with you if I don't see you? But now with Zoom, I get to see more of my clients now than I did before, which is a blessing.
And I think there's going to be a balance of both. And I think it's going to depend, even in my case, having multiple businesses. It's not just real estate, it's multiple businesses. Again, the value has to come in where if the office pays for itself, it's completely worth it, in my opinion. And I think we're going to have to determine individually as we consider not just real estate. I have people who are, hairdressers and people who have restaurants, and especially even on Main Street in Vista, we've already got one real estate office just closed, another restaurant just closed their doors, another one is for lease. And so it's not just us with the brick and mortar. These small mom and pops that had 30 days and they're month to month on their, sales for that month, they're going out of business. So if your overhead cannot cover you through this time, then it's okay for you to reconsider that. And I think the thing that people need to know in any small business, as an entrepreneur myself, is that it's okay for you to do anything that you want to when it comes to your business and not feel guilty or bad about it. And there's going to have to be a time when we're just going to have to give each other grace. So I remember in 2016, this was terrible in the lending market when people were foreclosing and short sales were happening. We were judging one another. So we need to stop the judging one another on the decisions that we have to make during this COVID-19 and support one another and help each other to make wise decisions based on individual circumstances. And I think that's what's going to end up happening. And I think it's going to move.
2 points that I think for me resonated in 2008, and now I see it resonating for me now. The point that is really actually is important for me now is having the ability to be able to go to my office and work out of my office right now. Granted, my office, I have the ability to be isolated from other people working in my office, so I am fortunate that way to have that ability. So that actually is very helpful. And at the same time, some days I totally crash and I stay home and I feel like I need to work around with my family being around me. And then at the end of the day, I'm like, oh my God, my head is spinning. I need to go back to my office. And I think that ability and having that brick and mortar space to be able to go there has been invaluable for me right now.
I have to totally agree.
So that is one of the reasons for me that I would, again, at this time, I feel that brick and mortar is that much more important for me. The other point, which goes back to real estate and owning real estate, I've always operated from the space that, I've got to run my business within my means. Mm-hmm. And as part of that is I have to make sure that I own the space that I'm running my business in. So, renting an office space, just like renting a house, was never in my mindset. I always thought, okay, if I have to live, I have to make sure I buy. And it's the same mentality that I've had about running my business. If I am operating a business, I have to make sure that I run it out of a space
that you own. Yeah.
Can you go back?
I think
You're
so.
talking, I have to own my own business.
Okay.
My own space.
My own space.
My own space.
Okay.
Ready?
Yes.
Talk to them when you start. Go ahead.
And it's the same for business. I always come from that mindset that if I am running a business, I have to make sure that I own the space, because financially it just makes you that much more stable. And if something like this happens, then you're not in the space that, oh my God, I can't pay my rent.
Yeah, or mortgage though. You
Or
have a
mortgage.
mortgage, because a lot of people do own space and they still have mortgages and stuff like that. But I think one of the things that we're all learning through this, Kathy, and I'm sure as a financial advisor, you would agree with me, is what's a reset button. It's a reset button for all of us to consider our finances and to consider how we do business, how we do relationship, how we do life anymore. Right? And so one of the things that I'm even doing in my home is I'm letting my home pay for itself through Airbnb rentals. So this is a consideration for the office, is taking the office and just making sure, like you have made sure that you own it, you can cover that, is if the office can cover itself, I think it is a nice balance between the two. Right? And we have plenty of space to do that. So individually, collectively, we're just going to have to learn to make these decisions that benefit everyone and really rethink where our dollar's going.
That is a really important part. Thinking where your dollars are going and making sure to come from a space of being more conservative and saving more and making sure that if something like this happens, you have that cushion to be able to sustain your business.
Absolutely. And we've been working on this with the social media for a year now, 2 years, as it is putting into practice things in real estate that put us really at kind of an edge above all of our competition.
So I want to thank the two of you for joining us, because we can talk and talk and talk.
Oh, yeah.
But with that being said, the biggest takeaway is if you have a brick and mortar, a building, right, especially now in the stay home, it is very refreshing to be able to go somewhere to go to work. That's what I'm hearing.
Yes.
And at the same time, you have to make sure that your dollars make sense. Debbie, Roxanne, thank you so much. Stay safe.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much.